Hi, Tony Margatelli here, Chairman at ICPA. Welcome to another one of my In Practice blogs. Today I'm going to be covering all things digital, specifically three things. Firstly, the Your Tax account. Secondly, the beta testing of the online self-service Paye system. And finally, a quick mention for the death of the tax return, which came out in the budget. As the ICPA representative at the Tax Agent Strategy Group, we recently had a meeting in London, and the chair of the meeting from HMRC was very quick to point out that they had recorded in excess of 2 million users of their Your Tax account. I thought I'd misheard him, so I questioned him and said, was that 2 million uses or 2 million users? And he repeated that it was in fact 2 million registered users of the Your Tax account, by which he inferred that therefore there were 2 million people digitally interacting with HMRC via the Your Tax account. I did point out to him that this was absolute nonsense, to which there was a certain askance look and couldn't seem to understand what I was saying. But I pointed out that how many of those registered users were in fact accountants who clients have been sent spurious demands for penalties, etc., for RTI, and in order to deal with it, the only way that could be dealt with it sensibly was to get the client to register for the Your Tax account, to then pass the details to the accountant, who was able then to look in and see what had gone wrong and to sort the matter out speedily and quickly. And it was in no way to be treated as the individual businessman was in a rush to digitally deal with HMRC. It was the only effective way to deal with the problems that had arisen. And had the agents been given access to their clients' information from the outset, there would have been no need for them to have to take user details from the individual taxpayer. The other agents around the table all nodded agreement and agreed with me, and then it all went a bit quiet then. Moving on to the latest in AOSS, which is of course the beta testing of the Paye system for us agents. If you go on to HMRC site, look into the blog section, look at AOSS, you'll find screenshots of what they're actually proposing to send out, whereby what will happen is every single agent will be sent a list of their clients, which you will then have to verify or delete the ones who are no longer your clients, and then you'll have access finally to what's gone on, the equivalent of the Your Tax account, so you can see what's happened to payments and liabilities, etc., throughout the year. However, the first thing that you will notice is that you will not be given access to your clients where your clients have been authorized purely by a Form 64A. So what this means is your older, long-established clients that you've acted for many years and quite happily, and that's been done on the basis of a paper Form 64A, their information will not be available to you from the outset. You will have to go through some form of process. Now, the problem is, on all the wonderful beta testing, it tells you that you're going to have to go through another process, but it doesn't actually tell you what that's involving. Will it involve the sending out of another dreaded PIN, or will it be just simply a question of stating that these are my clients, honestly trust me? I have absolutely no idea. I'll leave it for you to consider. Do you want to take proactive stance on this now and make sure that you online register your payroll clients so that when this comes through, hopefully they will be there and you'll have less to do? Or are you going to leave as is and worry about it when the list comes out? We know what HMRC would like us to do. It's up to you, and it's up to you to make your own decisions. My practice has made its decision, and I wonder what you think that's going to be. Now, the final topic I wanted to have a quick look at, and it will be a brief look at today, is the much vaunted Making Tax Easier, the death of the tax return, which was announced in the last budget. Lots of people have been looking at this and have written all manner of comments about the death of the tax return. Interestingly, you can almost work out where they stand on this issue. We've got software developers, cloud software developers saying, oh, it's wonderful because, of course, you're going to use their cloud software and no one would need an accountant. We've got accountants saying, no, this cannot be right. You're going to still need an accountant for this, that, and the other. The answer is probably somewhere in the middle. The document put out by HMRC is available to view from their website. There's a copy on our website at www.icpa.org.uk. Have a look at it yourself and see what it says. It's going to take an awful long time. They're talking about 2020 by the time all this stuff's put into fruition. At least there are things on there that do make some sense, where they're saying that agents will be allowed to interact with the same system, so that we should be able to see what is going on. However, I will urge caution. This is still at very, very early stages. If you are a straightforward employee taxpayer with very little going on, I imagine it's going to be, frankly, a piece of cake. If you've got anything else involved, it'd be very interesting to see how they're going to accommodate this. There will be lots of consultations coming out throughout the next year and the years ahead, undoubted. And no doubt we're going to be buried alive with yet more techie types. So the first thing to say is, hold your water, no need to panic. I seem to recall that accounts were going to be useless when self-assessment came in, when we were going to have a year where no one would want an accountant because of the averaging system that was going to be going on. Lots of things like this being put out, but common sense says at the moment, hold your water, read the document, answer the consultations, keep up to date. And obviously I'll keep my ICPA members up to date, and I'm sure others will try and do the same. But for the moment, it really is a case of this is what they think they're going to do. But remember, we have a thing called real-time information, which is supposedly in place, that's dealing with Paye, and with real-time information going down the line, they still can't seem to get it right. Penalties are still being issued for no apparent reason, and yet we're going to be interacting with the government all the time digitally with our accounts. Utopia? Could well be.